Hello and welcome to T2 Shopping. In the following presentation, you will see how this system can make a big difference for your shopping campaigns. So let's start with a product, which is in this case a Nike Air Max 90 in white for women. So let's say we had a Google Shopping campaign for this product. Then after some time we take a look at the results and we see that the following terms showed up for our product. On the top you see the EAN, which is the article number. Then you see that it's getting less and less specific if you go down the list. For example, we start with very specific keywords like Nike Air Max 90 white, and on the bottom of the list you see keywords like Nike and sneakers. On the right hand side you see the conversions and the cost for each of these terms. So, for example, the EAN had the best relation between conversions and cost, and the terms like sneakers and Nike have a very bad relation between conversions and cost. So normally what we would try to do is to exclude terms that don't have a good relation between conversions and costs, or in other words have a high CPA. For example, we would add Air Max as a negative keyword, and Nike and sneakers as well. But we can't add them as a broad match negative keyword. We have to add them as an exact match negative keyword. Now let's have a look at how Google decides for which search terms is your product shown. So the normal procedure is that Google decides what kinds of search terms fit your product. For example, Nike and sneakers and Air Max. And then it looks at your negative keywords that you define for this ad group, which is, in the best of cases, this ad group would be just for one product, if it's an important product. And then, based on these two factors, your product will be shown or not. Of course, Google is trying to send you traffic and trying to find new traffic for your product all the time. So that every once in a while you have to check what traffic came to your product that was not excluded by your negative keywords, and then what new negative keywords do you have to put into your ad group so you don't get that traffic that you don't want. And all of that is because Google doesn't allow positive keywords for Google Shopping. So compared to other search campaigns, we have to do it the other way around. And that means that there is a constant time that you have to spend on adding negative keywords. So there are two main disadvantages for us as online marketers who have to deal with Google Shopping. First is the unwanted traffic and spendings that we spend on traffic that we actually don't want. And the second problem is the time we spend on having to manage the campaigns or adding the negatives. So in what way does T2 Shopping help you to solve this problem? T2 Shopping does two things. First, it analyzes your historic data that you have for your shopping campaigns, meaning that it looks at each and every keyword that has appeared for your shopping ad group and assesses how good was the CPA of this keyword. And we're not talking only about keywords, but we're also talking about parts of keywords. Based on that information, the system creates a new campaign structure, slightly different than before, but not big change. And then it works on the negative keywords for each and every ad group. The overall effect of these changes are that the system defines positive keywords for your shopping campaigns. So let's take a look at the chart we saw before. Then here you have the way of how Google decides for which search terms your product appears, and you see that the first step here is that there is a search term range defined by T2 Shopping by our system, which is the normal way that positive keywords work in your search campaigns. So only after that Google decides which search terms within this range it wants to show the product for, And finally, your negative keywords take the final decision for which search terms it can be shown or not. So the result of our system is that your product is only shown for the types of keywords that you really want it to be shown, and especially for those search terms that have a very good relation between cost and conversion. Not only we include exact keywords, for example Nike Air Max would be one of them, but we also include fragments of keywords that have been shown to be successful. For example, Max 90 in this case. So you will have to pay for a lot less traffic that you actually didn't want, and also have a lower CPC. That is because the traffic that your product shows for is better qualified. And another effect of the system is that you now don't need to add more negative keywords because the system has defined positive keywords for you. So let's take a look at the curve. We have on the left axis we have cost, and on the right, on the x-axis, we have the conversions. And then now we have the curve, which is like a rounded curve, showing all the keywords with the different combinations of cost and conversions. To make it easier, we put them in 3 groups here in this chart. The first on the left hand side, group 1, on the lower left hand side is the long tail keywords. For example, Air Max 90 white, which have a very good relation between cost and conversion. The second group is the medium tail keywords like Nike Air Max, which have not as good relation cost and conversion, but still could be profitable for you. And the third group, terms like Nike and sneakers, are most probably not being profitable for your company. They cause a lot of the cost, but they bring very few conversions. So now our question for you is, where would you cut that curve? Where would be your perfect point? And this is exactly what our system does. We ask you, based on the historic data that we have for your account, where would you like to position yourself? Is it more important for you to keep very many of the conversions that you had, for example all of the conversions you had, or is it more important for you to get a better relation between cost and conversion? For example, if you pay now an average of $30 per conversion, would you accept losing 10% of your conversions and on the other hand having a CPA of only $10? And here in this chart you see 2 examples. The first is point 1. This means cutting 30% of the conversions, and that means that the company has just 70% of the conversions that it had before, but has only 35% of the cost that it had before. So the CPA will be much better than before. In the second point, we see that the company doesn't want to lose a lot of conversions. It just keeps 95% of the conversions, almost everything, all conversions, and still it has 70% only of the cost of before. So there's a big improvement in rentability. And don't worry, we offer you to show you what are the options for you. For example, we will give you a list of options that you have based on the historic data, and then you can choose easily the one that you like most. As a standard, we will keep all keywords and search terms that offer a better than average cost of conversion. So let's sum up. What are the advantages of T2 shopping? First, it is if you had positive keywords for your shopping campaigns, meaning that you don't need anymore create lots of negative keywords. Also, you have a much improved CPA, cost per conversion, the CTR, because your products are more adequate for the search terms that they are shown for, and even the CPC for the same reason. So you have a lower CPC. You save a lot of time that it normally have to spend on adding negative keywords. It is just an add-on for your campaigns. So it's just once implemented by us without anything you have to do, and you will have a 20% better CPA, because if you don't, we don't charge you anything. Our service is only charged if you reach that goal. Before starting with the implementation, you can ask us for a simulation. So we would show you, for example, well, keeping 100% of your conversions, how much can we improve your CPA? And the same for keeping 90% of your current conversions, and the same for 85% of your current conversions. You yourself can choose the intervals. Well, that's it. Thanks for your attention, and I hope to be in contact soon.